Africa. The squeeze was on. They didn't mind as long as we were dribbling basketballs and throwing footballs. But as soon as we got to the White House, the game changed. The squeeze is on.
Squeeze is on.
They are in fact threatened because they understood if Trayvon Martin and Jordan Davis ever got to FAMU, they would in fact be a dangerous vehicle. They would be a BMW, a black man working. The squeeze is on. It's powerful behind a black man that knows how to think and articulate and stand, that we're not here tap dancing and playing no Uncle Tom. We're standing to declare we gotta go forward ever and backward never. The squeeze is on.
The squeeze is on. The squeeze is on.
It would be a scathing injustice. A year, 2 years ago, when we got the call about Trayvon Martin, Reverend Sharpton and I were marching from Selma to Montgomery. And Joseph Lowry said something that offended and unnerved me. He said, Jamal, your generation has done nothing for the movement. You are, in fact, enjoying the benefits without knowing the sacrifice. You're able to shop where you want. You're able to live where you want. You're able to be educated where you want. And if in fact you have benefit with no sacrifice, you're nothing more than spoiled. And as a consequence, we raised the spoiled generation of Negroes who believe that they are where they are because of SAT scores. They think they are where they are because of an essay. They think they are where they are because they are part of a Greek-lettered organization. But I came to tell you, the reason why you're here is because somebody prayed for you. Somebody had you on their mind. Somebody took the time. And I'm so glad that they prayed. Marching is good. And Reverend Sharpton often reminds me, Jamal, don't tell me you tired of marching and your generation didn't march. Please don't in fact say y'all got to do something else when it is that marching is what got us to this point. And I believe, yes, we already have the paradigm of what got us here. But those of you who are familiar with Scripture understand that whenever God blesses, He changes with every generation. The previous generation had to come across the Red Sea, but the next generation had to come across the Jordan. And so I want to thank the previous generation for parting the Red Sea. And I want to thank you for lifting up your staff so that we can walk across. But a new generation is now standing up. A new generation is assuming the baton. A new generation is now standing on the ground. And so we're grateful for Nan being here. We're grateful for the National Bar Association. We're grateful for Now being here. We're grateful for the pastors who are here. We're grateful for the educators and the parents who are here. But notice there are some people who are not here. And today we issue a warning shot. I issue a warning shot because I've been doing investigation about what's being served on the missing plane. And on the missing plane, ladies and gentlemen, is Tropicana orange juice. And I want to give a warning to Tropicana orange juice even right now, that since Trayvon Martin's verdict came back, you received a profit of $8 billion. Over this last quarter, you have in fact been able to grow into a place of 13% of Pepsi's revenue. You are in fact in every major urban community, but you have not given to any civil rights organization or to any foundation. So today is my warning shot. I just want to put the squeeze on.
The squeeze is on.
If you have your phone, I want you to pull your phone out now, please. There's got to be something after the march. Because it is, ladies and gentlemen, not just a march, it's a launch. It's not just a march, it's a launch. It's not just a march, it's a launch. It's not just a march, it's a launch. Florida is also known for Cape Canaveral. And something is going to have to take off. I want every person, if you will, I want you to write this number down, please. 1-800-237-7799. 1-800-237-7799. 1-800-237-7799. 7799 for the slow class. 1-800-237-7799. Now they messed around. I found out that you are not going to get a computer on that number. That is the customer service number of Chopper Canada. That is, in fact, headquartered in Bradenton, Florida. Why did you choose them? Because they declare they're 100% Florida. Well, if you're 100% of Florida, you got to be for Trayvon, you got to be for Jordan, and you got to be for Marissa. This is not a boycott, Reverend Sharpton, I'm calling for. I'm calling for you to call them and ask them to stand with us to call for the repealing and the amendment of Stand Your Ground. Please listen to me. Tropicana is owned by Pepsi. The three highest paid people endorsed by Pepsi are Kanye West, Ludacris, and Beyonce. I'm not asking you to tear up your contract. I want you to feed your children. But I do want you, while you get that check, to please stand with us to stand our ground. I want you to lock down the phones of Tropicana from here until April the 4th. But that ain't the only call I want you to make. I don't know whether you realize it or not, we're in Florida, and so it is a small world after all. I want you to please call Disney World. I thought y'all came for a real revolution. I want you to please call Disney World. Here is the number where you're going to be able to get the office of the president. 407-824-2222, extension 1. 407-824-2222, extension 1. 407 for the slow class. 824-2222. You are calling Disney World. They claim that they care for children. Great. Do you care for black children? Do you care for inner city children? Do you care for children who can't afford $100 tickets? It is a small world after all. The revolution will be televised on MSNBC, Fox, and the Tom Joyner Morning Show. I want you to please lock down every phone until we get a stand-up. Now, so that they do not think we're operating out of emotionalism, what it is that I'm calling for today, so that they do not act as if they're caught off guard, I faxed a letter to the president of Tropicana and the chair of the board of Disney at 9 o'clock this morning, giving them a warning shot that this was coming. They have until April the 4th to call us to say that they're willing to meet, to in fact discuss how they can lend assistance so that we can repeal this law. April the 4th, why, Pastor Bryant? Because that is the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King, another black man that was senselessly killed, who in fact lost his life because he was standing for a dream and standing for a vision. Tropicana and Disney, this is your warning shot. I need to hear from you by April the 4th, or else there won't be no movies this summer. There will not be any endorsements this summer, and the small world is going to start crumbling down, and Tropicana, you're going to feel the squeeze. You got until April the 4th. On April the 7th, we begin economic sanctions, because Florida responds to money. Florida understands that money answereth all things. And for you black Negroes who got amnesia, it was a boycott that started segregation. We ain't getting on the bus, we getting off the missing plane to let Florida know that the struggle still continues. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this session of the Florida House ends on May 2nd. And if in fact we have no resolve, we're going to have to come right back here. Congresswoman, we understand we didn't know Bull Connor. We did not know J. Edgar Hoover, but we do know Attorney Corey. And we want to remind her that Richard Niebuhr said that a politician can only do what the people allow them to do. And Attorney Corey, we are watching you. We want you to understand we have never seen Jim Crow in drag, but we need you to please come to yourself and realize trying to kill Moses, that they gave the instruction to the midwives. Kill the black boys before they come out.